For this effect, I could start off by letting the participant shuffle the deck and give it some cuts. While they do that, I would explain to them that I would like for them to go ahead, take out any card, look at it, and remember it. So let's say they take out this card. I don't want to see it, but I will show it to you. After they have remembered the card, they could place it off to the side, and with the rest of the deck still, they could give it a mix. And once they're done, I would ask for them to go ahead and deal two piles of cards up to number 10, but they have to be even piles. Let's say they name six. So they would go one, two, three, four, five, six. Now, with either one of the piles, the participant can go ahead and place it in their pocket. Let's say they place this pile in their pocket. I would then ask for them to pick up the other pile of cards, place it on top of their selection, pick up all of those cards, and place it on top of the deck. Now we're going to try to mix up the cards even more. So let's say they hand the deck back, and I ask them to name a number out loud, one, two, or three. Let's say they name three. So one, two, three. And we're going to take turns going back and forth. So let's say I name two. Let's say they name two again. Let's say I name a three. Let's say they name a one. And then let's say they name three. And then we name one. Perfect. So I think we're going to stop there. We're not going to go through the whole deck. But now we can actually pick up this pile dealt on the table, put it back on top of the deck, pick up the cards, or actually take out the cards from their pocket and place those on top, just like that. Now, I don't know if you have actually noticed, but I have had the card box here since the beginning of the effect, and what I have in this card box is actually a prediction, but it's a little bit different because it's actually on two different colored cards, just so you can tell the decks apart. Now, in this case, I have an ace and a five. If you know anything about playing cards, you will know that the ace is actually worth one. So if we have a one and a five, that gives us number 15. Let's count 15 cards. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. For the first time, I would have the participant name their card out loud. They would say the Jack of Spades. And on number 15 is indeed the Jack of Spades. And that is the effect. If you would like to learn how to do this, please stick around for the tutorial. So before I get into the tutorial here, a few things I would like to go over. First of all, these two red colored cards, which are similar to the black cards, these are the Red Remedies by Daniel Madison and Daniel Schneider. The black cards are the Black Remedies. Now, I do have a deck review on both of these decks, which I will link in the description. I also won both of these decks as part of a brick giveaway from Sean Devine. So I'm going to link Sean's channel in the description so you can go ahead and subscribe to him. And I'm also going to link the unboxing as well. Now, what you saw in the performance is the impromptu way to do this. At the end, I'm going to show you a way you can do this with a prediction. Just because the remedies does come with a duplicate slash prediction card, which you will see what I mean. And I will link in the description my updated video on cards that come with duplicate cards that I own. So the only real setup is either before the effect or during the effect, but you're either gonna take out two cards, it can be from the same deck, it really doesn't matter, or a different deck, but you're gonna take out an ace, which is 1, and then a 5 for 15. Now, you could write 15 on a piece of paper and put it in the box. That is just as good. I just like doing cards more. So I'm gonna leave these in the box, and I am all set. So you can start off now by having the cards shuffled as much as the participant would like. After they have shuffled and cut the cards, you're going to have them make a selection. Now, it can really be any card, and you really don't want to see the card either. If you can, I would advise having the card signed, but if you can't, that's fine. So in this case, we have the 5 of diamonds. You're going to have them, once they remember their card, leave it off to the side. Now, with the rest of the cards, they can give them another mix, but you explained that you would like for them to deal out two piles of cards evenly up to number 10. So they can deal two piles of 5 cards each, two piles of 7 cards each. It really doesn't matter. They just can't surpass 10 because of 15. And I forgot to mention, it's going to be 15 every time you do this. So if you perform this effect, you have to do 15, and they can't go past 10. Let's say they do 7, and it doesn't matter how they deal the two piles up to 7. So 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to have them place one of the piles inside their pocket. Let's say that's our pocket. With the other pile now, they're going to place it on top of their selection, pick up the entire pile, and place it on top of the deck. You now explain that you're going to mix up some of the cards. So you're going to ask them to name a number out loud between 1, 2, or 3. And it's always going to be 1, 2, or 3 because you're going to get to 15. And you also want to keep track of the new value each time. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say they name 1. You're just going to deal the card on the table. If they name 2, you're going to slide the top card off, take the next top card and place it on top, and then drop like that. If they name 3, you're going to do the same thing. So 1, 2, then 3, and drop it. In your mind, you're going to count 3, but you're not going to count out loud. And you're going to want to do this up until you get to 12, and I will explain why. And the participant is going to start first. So this may be a little tricky. Try to follow along. The original performance video is in the description if you need to watch that. If they name 3, you're going to go 1, 2, 3. You can count out loud. You just don't want to say 3 plus 1 or 3 plus 2 or whatever. But you can say 3, 1. You just don't want them to know that you're adding the values up. So I hope that makes sense. So 3, let's say you name 2. So now this is 5. They can name 3. for 6. You name 1 for 7. They name 2 for what is this? 7 and 2, 9. And then they can do 1, 2, or 3. If they name 3, you're at 12 already. You're set. If they name 2, you're gonna name 1. If they name 1, you're gonna name the other number. So what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we have more cards than I thought. So you're going to name 1 for 12, and then they can name 1, 2, or 3 up to 15. So if they name 1, you can put it down, you name 2. If they name 3, that's 15. If they name 1, you're gonna name 3. So I hope this makes sense. So 12, 2, and then 1. So we should be good here. After you get to 15, obviously don't say it out loud. You're gonna say, okay, I think that's enough mixing of the deck. You're going to pick up the pile on the table and place it on top of the deck. You then ask them to take out the cards from their pocket earlier. They take them out and you have them place it on top of the deck. You're then going to bring in your prediction. So I like to say from the very start, before we even attempted this, I made a prediction about what's going to happen. That you're going to open up the box, or you can have the participant can. If you have the piece of paper with 15 written on it, I personally let the participant open the box and take out the cards. If you have the 2 cards in the box that make up 15, I like to open up the box just because they may get confused. But with the piece of paper, they can see 15 there clearly. But it's up to you. So we open up the box and I say, okay, I have 2 different colored cards in this box. Now, if we look at these cards, we have an ace and we have a 5. I don't know if you know anything about cards, but aces are worth 1, and then we have a 5. So a 1 and a 5 is 15. I then have them name their card out loud. They do the 5 of diamonds, and you can actually have them count to 15 if you would like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, if you did this right, is going to be their card, the 5 of diamonds. And that is the impromptu way of doing this. So let's go ahead now and break down really quick the prediction way. I'm not going to perform the effect again, but I will show you the setup for the prediction effect. So you're going to still have your 15 as always, whether it's a paper or 2 cards. However, what you're going to want to do is take out your duplicates for what you have. In this case, as you can see, the King of Diamonds. So what I'm going to do in this case is leave 1 King of Diamonds with my 15, and the other king, if you're a beginner, you can leave it on top of the deck and then force it. If you don't know any forces, I will link them in the description. If you are more advanced, I will show you another way of doing it. So you can either have the king written down on a separate piece of paper or with a card or as the actual card. Once again, it doesn't have to be the king of diamonds. It can be any card in the world. You just want the one card to match the deck you're going to force it with, and then this card can either be the same Just make sure the face is different, or it can be the same. I guess it doesn't matter. Or a totally different deck. So you're going to also remember which card is on the top and the bottom. So this is why I color coordinate them like this, but it doesn't matter. So you're going to place these in the box. Since I know I'm going to do 15 first, and then the prediction at the end, I put the 2, 1, and 5 on top. So if you're a real beginner, you can start off with the card on top, maybe some false cuts and shuffles. I will link some in the description. And then you can force this card, which I will also link forces in the description. If you are advanced, here's a way you can do this. And this works even better with marked cards. So if you have a marked deck, it's really easy to cut it to the top. But let's say you have the card in the middle, you have the participant shuffle the deck, they hand it back to you, and you're going to turn them face up, and you're going to do the process like this of showing they're all different. When you get to your force card, in this case the king, all I'm going to do, you can do any move. I just like the call the best. You're going to call that king out, continue showing these are all different, and you're going to ride that king all the way to the bottom. Turn it face down, do some cuts and shuffles if you would like. I will leave a link in the description for the call, and then you're going to force the card. Have them set it off to the side, deal your 2 even piles of cards, and do the effect just like that. And then when the king comes out, because you have already shown your 2 your ace and your 5, you can say I also had this card in the deck since the beginning. You shuffle the deck, you could have had any card, but in this case, my prediction matched just like this. And that is the effect. Pretty long video, one of my longer ones recently, but I really hope you enjoyed this and all the different ways you can do this effect. If you are new here, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And please stay tuned for Halloween Day, as I have a special video coming out on that day with a special deck of cards I got recently from a family member. And then I show you a really easy trick as well. Thank you, and bye.